Hello and welcome formally to the 2024 Australian of the Year Awards for the Northern Territory. I'm Jo Laverty. I present the breakfast program for ABC Radio Darwin, and it's my great pleasure to be with you again tonight. I love the Northern Territory because I can look out and I feel like I know most of you in the room tonight, which is such a special thing that we have here as compared with so many other parts of Australia. And right around the nation, they've all had their own ceremonies like this one, having their moments to recognise, celebrate the extraordinary achievements of Australians right around the country, the courage, the compassion, the resilience and the hope that they bring and that we really shine a light on tonight. These are stories of Australians who are really making a difference with their passion. And as, again, someone that I know, I feel like we all know each other, who walked in the door and said, this is such a great night. It's when we get to see people in their shiniest of lights. So whether you're here with us in the room, and we thank you for that, or perhaps you're watching on the australianoftheyear.org.au, welcome. You are in for a great treat. And this is not a competition, right? I mean, it's not a competition for your welcome to country. But we're about to blow everybody else away with our welcome to country. That's just people are going to go, I didn't even know you could do it like that, honestly. You're going to be very impressed. I do encourage you to show your support on social media using the hashtag #OzOfTheYear. That is the hashtag for tonight. And you are going to meet some extraordinary people, honestly. They're leaders, they inspire us, they're fun. They make not only the territory better, but they make the country better. And we welcome you, our nominees and our finalists. Well done for being with us tonight, and we thank you for all the work that you've done. Thank you to the families and supporters of these remarkable people, because they are often here with the help and love and support of other people. So well done to you as well. We do have some honourable mentions. The Honourable Patrick Gorman, MP, Assistant Minister to the Prime Minister and Assistant Minister for the Public Service. His Honour, Professor the Honourable Hugh Heggie, PSM. The Honourable Natasha Files, Chief Minister of the Northern Territory. The Honourable Mark Monaghan, Speaker of the Legislative Assembly. Mr Gerard Maley, MLA, Deputy Leader of the Opposition, representing Ms Leah Finocchiaro, MLA, Leader of the Opposition. Michael Murphy, Commissioner of Police, CEO of Fire and Emergency Services. Eva Lawler, MLA, welcome. And Luke Gosling, I think I saw you come in as well. Hello, Luke Gosling, also MLA. Oh no, oh my gosh. There it's for the Federal Parliament member for Solomon. Now, we have an interpreter here, an Auslan interpreter. This is Liana Parnasavich. She's been with us for a couple of years now and does a beautiful job. So we do appreciate her joining us again. I would like to now invite Dr. Richard Fijo, who is the Chair of the Australia Day Council of the Northern Territory, to say a few words and to welcome us to country.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, distinguished guests, Territorians and Australians. I offer you the Chairman's report. As Chair of the Australia Day Council Northern Territory, I stand in awe of your remarkable dedication, your achievements and unwavering efforts in making our great nation better. Each of you embody the true essence of Australian spirit: resilience, compassionate, innovative. Your outstanding contributions have not only elevated your communities, but also inspired countless lives. I extend my heartfelt wishes of good luck to all of you this evening. Remember, the journey towards excellence is not solely defined by the outcome, but by the passion and commitment you exhibit along the way. Embrace this moment with pride, because you're all winners in our eyes. Congratulations on your exceptional accomplishments. You already make so many of us proud. Together, let's continue to shine and shape a brighter, more united future for Australia and for all Australians. We wish you all the best in the future. Thank you.
We walk this land, this land, our land, our home. Greetings and good evening to you all. My name is Liam Stansfield, and I'm a proud Larrakia man of the Shepherd family. My people, the Larrakia people, are the traditional custodians of the Darwin region and surrounding areas, and we comprise of both freshwater and saltwater people. I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land and waterways around what has now been named Australia, and pay respect to our ancestors, our elders who go before us, and those who stand with us today. Since the beginning of time, our ancestors, families, and communities have educated our children of the strength, beauty, and depth of our culture, and continue to pass this knowledge on to each generation, carrying forward one of the oldest living cultures on this earth. And as young people, it is now our responsibility to maintain that. While there has been great change to this vast land over the generations, we know that in our hearts that the story and spirit of the first peoples throughout Australia will always be written in the landscape. We as Indigenous people are born of the spirit of this country. It is where we are conceived from. It is our home. It is where we belong. We have sacred relationships with the birds and the animals of the land, which connects us to both the physical world and spiritual world, which is strengthened by an obligation to care for each other and the natural environment. It is a birthright that has been handed down through bloodlines from generation to generation. Our relationship with the land is at the center of our lives. Our country is our mother. In a sense, our country is us. So please, on behalf of my ancestors, welcome to Larrakia country.
Embrace equality, His hand invites us all to be. Embrace equality, with pride and honesty, the truth and inclusivity.
They stand and they rise up with me. I know my land is called. I know. Rise with the people that are one with me. Follow the land and you will be free. Culture divided with society. I can see that my people's free. The land is one and we are two. I feel alive when I know you do. ancient times with glory. Traveling across this land, I stand. By the Spirit, travel through the dream time. So beautifully in time, as we carry traditions through our minds, through our minds. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Please allow me to introduce our brother playing the yidaki from the Tiwi Islands and Daly River, Leroy Tipalura. Our sister from Eastern Yalanji Country, Queensland, Shanice McLean. Ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for our Youth Mill Ensemble. My name is Liam Stansfield and we are members of the Youth Mill. Thank you.
Nailed it. Now, I said it wasn't a competition, but just want for everybody who's watching on the stream tonight, that is the Youth Mill, and every time they perform, and I've seen them a few times now, it's a little bit different, and it never fails to give me goosebumps. It's just such a special welcome to country, and I thank the Youth Mill for that. It's now time to stand for the Australian National Anthem, which is going to be performed tonight by Felicity Lamberton.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, a beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you. Felicity Lamberton, just 19 years old and is no stranger to performing the national anthem. She's also performed it at the AFL-NT Grand Final, so perhaps you saw her there, and one day we might even see her on the stage for the Australian AFL Grand Final. You never know. That'd be good, wouldn't it? So I'm now pleased to move on to the awards part of the evening, and once again, there were thousands and thousands of nominations from the public. If there's one job you don't want, it's going through the excellent nominations and trying to whittle it down to just 4 in each category, of which there are 4, to just 16 people that we see in front of us now, because that is a hard job. You can imagine the fights, you can imagine the cajoling, the staying awake at night, but these are the 16 best out of all of those thousands of people. And I'm told all of them, when they answered the phone, said, "Oh, you must have a mistake because it's not me." And it is absolutely you. Please don't have imposter syndrome. You are here and we're so happy to be able to celebrate you tonight. The nominees range from volunteers, professionals, local community members and fearless advocates, and they each have their own pathways and motivations. And I'm looking forward to whatever happens tonight. This is such a big deal. You'll be able to take this with you for the rest of your life and continue on with whatever it is that you're passionate about and continue to make waves in the way that you already have. Our recipients will be announced in each of the 4 categories: Australia's Local Hero, Young Australian of the Year, Senior Australian of the Year, and the Australian of the Year. Then those 4 recipients will go and join the other states and the ACT at the National Awards on the eve of Australia Day, with the Prime Minister revealing the national recipients live on the ABC at Parliament House. Now, if you think this is a big deal, wait till you get to Parliament House in Canberra. That is huge. They do up the hall. They've got amazing food. The floors are impeccable. Have you ever seen the floors of Parliament House in Canberra? Amazing, right? Look forward, if you get there, make sure you take a moment to have a look at the floors of Parliament House. And it goes without saying that everybody here is an absolute legend, and we appreciate the work that you do and those that support you. I'd now like to invite the Honourable Natasha Files, the Chief Minister of the Northern Territory, to share some words. Please make her feel very welcome.
Thank you, Joe. Good evening, all. I would like to acknowledge the Larrakia people, the traditional custodians of the land in which we're gathered this evening, and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. And I would like to thank the Youth Mill for that beautiful welcome to country. And I recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and culture. Before we look ahead to our 2024 nominees, I'd like to pay tribute to our 2023 winners. Our NT Australian of the Year, Samuel Bush-Banazi, our Senior Australian of the Year, Bernard Tipalura, our Young Australian of the Year, Jade Vagona, and our NT Local Hero, Sasha King. Thank you for all the work you've done and continue to do for our community. It is truly appreciated. Being nominated for these awards is a huge achievement, and as we just heard from Joe, I would like to acknowledge the committee for the Australia Day Council on the huge achievement of narrowing it down to our final 16. It means you have gone above and beyond to commit yourself to serving our community. You should feel so very proud of yourself. And I think I speak for everyone here this evening when I say we are very proud of you. From Darwin to Catherine, Gallowinku to Yirrkala, Alice Springs and Papunya. From First Nations Territorians whose ancestral lines have been traced for tens of thousands of years, to migrants who've chosen in recent years to call the Territory home. You represent the best of us. We are fortunate to be able to call you colleagues, mentors, friends and family. The Territory, we all know, isn't like anywhere else. It's unique, it's special. We're isolated from the rest of the country, and although we span thousands of kilometres from the desert to the tropical coast, from our deep red centre, Australian mountain ranges, to our blue-ringed top-end islands. That isolation helps forge our community. It unifies us. And in doing so, it makes us stronger, smarter and better. And that's what the Australian of the Year Awards are all about. Recognising those amongst us who go that little bit further, sometimes very far ahead indeed, to help out our community and make the Territory a better place. You're the ones who'll always lend the shoulder to cry on, a helping hand, or an open ear to those who need it. You're looking at the bigger picture of who we are and what matters to us, and you're contributing that in ways that are necessary, meaningful, and moving. And you, our 16 finalists across 4 categories, are exceptional. And each of you, in your respective fields, you've lent your talents to making the Territory better by preventing suicide and substance abuse, boosting biodiversity, educating our kids no matter where they live, representing our LGBTQI Territorians, supporting our multicultural and migrant communities, fundraising for cancer research and charities, advocating for young people, and building community through sports. I'm amazed by the scale of the work that you have done. Thank you for your contributions to the Territory. We are so lucky to have you. You are what makes the Territory so special. So to all the nominees, thank you for what you do. To our finalists, congratulations. And to our Territory winners who will go to Canberra to represent us, go well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Minister. And all of those things that you mentioned that make us unique in the Northern Territory, forgot the fashion. We stand out. Again, when you go to Canberra, take a moment to appreciate the flaws, but take a moment to appreciate how much better you look than everybody else. Just in the fashion, it's unique up here, it really is. And people will see, oh, where did you get that from? And you'll be able to say it was actually locally designed, almost certainly. It's now time to move on to the awards, and our first for 2024 Australian of the Year award is the Northern Territory category of Local Hero, which recognises Australians making a significant contribution in their local community. And I just felt a lot of heart palpitations from here, from those who are finalists. Let's learn a little bit more about this category, which is supported by the Department of Home Affairs.
Our local heroes are everyday Australians doing amazing things in their local communities. They represent what's great about communities. They keep their communities strong, and they are the fabric of our society.
They'll tell you when we open our doors to our neighbours, we open our hearts, and we give ourselves the chance to rejoice with others, to learn from them.
Rural people are worth fighting for because they get up and they show up in fire and flood and droughts and plagues and pandemics, and they put food on the nation's table. So the least we can do as a nation is make sure that they're getting support when they look for it.
Australia's Local Hero Award is a celebration and acknowledgement of those who go above and beyond to help others and who actively seek ways to improve society. Not only have you been an active citizen in your local community, you identified a community need, and instead of sitting back, you took action to promote change and help others. People are the heart of our thriving multicultural Australia, and as a finalist in a Local Hero Award, you have had a life-altering impact and have influenced meaningful change in your local communities. We thank you for making Australia a better, kinder place. Congratulations.
The award not only acknowledges work done so far, but gives encouragement to continue, and that's important.
To our Aussie kids doing it tough, hang on, don't give up, help's on the way.
It's not easy to just sit around and talk about the problems. I urge everyone, be kind and respectful. You too can be part of the change of the solution.
Thank you. I can see some people who are filming already and taking photographs, and that's we appreciate that. You can pull out your phones and share them on social media. Make sure you use that hashtag #OzOfTheYear. And the nominees for the 2024 Northern Territory Local Hero are
Dr. Mark D'Souza, a specialist emergency physician at Royal Darwin Hospital, has dedicated personal funds, time and effort to green the hospital campus for the benefit of people and wildlife. He's inspired an army of volunteers. Mark also initiated and chairs the Sustainable Healthcare Committee, Top End Region, which advises NT Health on opportunities for sustainability in healthcare. Deborah Jones created Clubhouse Territory in 2013 so she could make sure everyone, regardless of ability, could play sport. That goal quickly evolved into something bigger. Today, Clubhouse Territory welcomes over 4,000 participants each year to its events, which encourage people from all walks of life to participate and get involved in arts, sports, education and health programs. Widiana Marika is a Rittajinga elder and senior ceremonial leader who has lived life celebrating and teaching his culture with kindness and generosity and unflinching recognition of past and present wrongs against Indigenous Australians. Widiana has brought the culture and history of his people from a grassroots beginning to the international stage through his work as an actor, musician and filmmaker. Ben Poveda Alfonso is an advocate for international education, empowering young people and showcasing the importance of multiculturalism and international communities in Australia. He's the co-founder of the award-winning not-for-profit Kindness Shake, which runs the annual Kindness Festival in Darwin. The volunteer-led organisation is the Northern Territory's first NGO to focus on supporting international students and temporary visa holders.
May I invite the Administrator of the Northern Territory, His Honour, the Honourable Professor Hugh Heggie, PSM, to join me on stage as we give out the certificates. Dr. Mark D'Souza. Deborah Jones. We assured everybody that don't worry, the photographer will be really bossy about where you're going to stand. Widiana Marika. And Ben Poveda Alfonso. Hard to tell who's more dapper between the two of you. Your Honour, would you please tell us who the 2024 Northern Territory local hero is?
I'm going to build the suspension. From the centre, Kalamora Alagan. From the north, Darandar Bachi Bachiwa. The local hero award this year is Widiana Marika.
Nice try, trying to run away. I'll just go. No, we've got to talk to you first. First of all, you're obviously a crowd favourite, so well done on having so many people who know and love you here, Widiana. You're not that same fella that was in that video there with
I'm different. I'm the same guy, yeah.
Same. Are you sure? Now, you among all of your achievements, perhaps one of my favourite things, because I'm a history buff, as many are, is teaching other people about the Indigenous and Australian colonial history. What do you want people to know about that?
Colonial history. I'd like to share that I want to stand and reach out, and I received many things from the past that I have learned from my father and the heroes of local heroes of my fathers that are gone through those journey, and up to the state where me and Manda took the stand for music to change colonial being not recognizing, but just to confront them through Yolngu power and knowledge that he went through the university. I didn't went through university or school now, but he chose me. He chose me. Mandawi chose me that I was a forefront advocate as a Yoto for him. He was my Yundi and I was his Yoto. So from the at the time of memorial, when creation created, unknown created the world, Mother Earth and Father Sky, there was Yoto and Yindi. Every clan nation has Yoto and Yindi system of law right across on the land. So that's how our system works, to teach, advocate the Australian and whole Balanda Yolngu nation that are here. We are families, and we are families. Through our recent referendum to the voice, I didn't felt sorry, but I'm strong. I'm strong. I advocate that to my family and to the national, indigenous, all Australian nation, First Nation, to stand along with my ancient rock, the mandala, that stands alone against all the time, against the time, and it's there. That's our strength. Cheers.
Congratulations, Widiana. When you go to Canberra, that's not Canberra, you're welcome to. Congratulations. Yeah. When you go to Canberra, this is the thing, when you're one of these finalists that goes to Canberra, you have a platform that you have not previously had to the scale, and I'm really looking forward to what you can go and teach others about our shared history. And congratulations. I'd like to now introduce the Young Australian of the Year award category. This is supported by the Australian Government Office for Youth. And it recognises inspiring Australians between the ages of 16 and 30 years of age who have already accomplished more than what a lot of us will in our lifetime. And the award itself was introduced in 1979, so the award is much older than the nominees in front of us now. In fact, the award is middle-aged, but that's how it is, and one day you all will be as well, our young people here today. But in that time, I expect you to do a lot of wonderful things. Let's hear more about our young category from some past recipients.
When you look at the Young Australians of the Year, we're all reminded that our future is in really good hands.
I truly view this award not just as for me, but rather as an endorsement of the achievements of Australian women's football national team, and more broadly, Australian women's football and women's sport in general.
We have the power to shape the future and make Australia a place where we're all proud, where we all belong, and where we stand united.
It's so great to congratulate our outstanding 2024 State and Territory Young Australians of the Year finalists. Now, you've been nominated because you're trailblazers, opening up new opportunities for you and for those around you. Your skills and your commitment prove that young people can transform Australia for the better. And the things you've already achieved give your peers, your community and the country hope for the future. You're highlighting the way forward to a fairer and stronger Australia, and that's to be celebrated. That's why our government is a proud sponsor of the Young Australian of the Year award and encourage all young Australians to be active in their communities. So congratulations to each and every one of you on your success. I wish you the best for tonight, and I look forward to seeing what we can create together for Australia's future.
The Young Australians of the Year have a really impressive energy and a drive to make Australia a better place.
I simply couldn't live with myself, knowing that there were Australians suffering from medical conditions that could be treated.
I've been given an opportunity in such a beautiful country to be myself, and for me the most important thing is to help the next generation and also inspire them to be themselves and follow their dreams.
Without further ado, the nominees for the 2024 Northern Territory Young Australian of the Year Award are
Being busy completing Year 12 at St Philip's College in Alice Springs didn't stop Jordan Humphreys from advocating for young people. He used his own experience of living with a disability and being bullied to improve life for others. In 2022, he advised on the Northern Territory Youth Strategy, and in 2023, he was named Centralian Young Citizen of the Year. Amy James is a proud Warramungu woman with a huge heart, making the Barkly a better place. A disability advocate living with cerebral palsy, this singer-songwriter is a prominent face around Tennant Creek. She contributes to Women with Disabilities Australia and the Northern Territory's Disability Advisory Committee, among other groups. In 2023, her community service was recognised at the Northern Territory Young Achiever Awards. Leela Kruger is a champion of education and health for young people in Alice Springs. As an engagement officer at Gillen Primary School, she's helping turn around a decline in attendance and giving youngsters more opportunities to grow. Leela herself embraces every opportunity to learn, and in 2023, she was named the Northern Territory Young Achiever of the Year. At age 2, Peter Susanto was translating words from Bahasa Indonesia into English. In 2022, age 15, he started his medical degree at Charles Darwin University. Peter has represented the Northern Territory at many competitions, including the International Brain Bee Olympiad. He volunteers with several Darwin community groups and sells snacks at the Nightcliff foreshore to raise money for charity.
And Your Honour, I invite you to present the finalists with their certificates. Jordan Humphreys is not here, but can I get a photograph of you and the certificate for Jordan? Just you. He'll love that. Amy James. Leela Kruger. And Peter Susanto. What remarkable young people. We're so lucky to have you in the community, and your star will rise. Whatever happens tonight, your star will continue to rise. And the other categories are always open to you as well, once you are over 30 years old. Your Honour, the 2024 Northern Territory Young Australian of the Year is?
The 2024 Young Australian of the Year for the Northern Territory is Peter Susanto.
Peter. I suspect my maths is not quite as good as yours, but you started your medical degree at Charles Darwin University aged just 15 in 2022, making you 16?
Oh, I just turned 17 last week.
Are your parents here by any chance?
Yeah, I wish
Where's
where
Mum
they
and
were.
Dad?
Hands up. Oh, there's Dad.
What?
And Mum and Grandma.
What were you eating when you were pregnant with him? Because this is a remarkable story. I could spend a lot of time picking your brain, to be honest, but I will ask you just one question. What are you going to do with your life?
Well, it's a very good question. And to be honest, I did not prepare a speech because I actually did not expect to receive this award, but I am very honored to be receiving the NT Young Australian of the Year for 2024. Well, in the future, I have lots of plans. Of course, I'm going to finish my medical degree, first of all. I think I'm graduating in 2027, hopefully. And after that, I'd like to keep doing all of my community initiatives, especially fundraising by selling Grandma's amazing food. You guys should try our klepon, an Indonesian snack. It's like rice balls, and they've got coconut on the outside and palm sugar inside. Grandma makes the best ones, and we sell them. We sell them every Sunday evening at the Nightcliff foreshore. So please come. Everyone's welcome. And apart from that, in terms of medicine, I'm leaning towards radiology, but I'm open to any specialty. So any doctors who are here, I know Dr. Mark D'Souza's here as well. If you want to poach me for your specialty, feel free to. I'd love to see what it's like. And yeah, finally, one day I hope to start maybe a free mobile remote clinic for Northern Territorians because I'd like to do my part to help address what I recently learned were third world conditions apparently in the medical field in the Northern Territory, and I think we all can have a part to, especially in the medical field, we all can have a part to address that, and I hope to do so as well.
Yeah. Peter. I suspect His Honour, the Administrator, of course, previously our Chief Health Officer and has a long career in medicine, might actually be trying to get to you before Mark D'Souza. I'll let you guys, and I know that there are a few other people in here who are in the medical profession as well, so a big scrag fight after the ceremony, which I'm really looking forward to. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, and
Bye-bye.
also I'd like to congratulate and thank and acknowledge all the other nominees as well for not just the Young Australian of the Year, but also all of the other categories. You guys are amazing as well, and I've loved meeting you.
Good on you. I just think about when he started translating English words into Bahasa and whether or not Mum and Dad went, uh-oh, this is going to be quite the ride, and so it is. Congratulations to our 2024 Northern Territory Young Australian of the Year, Peter Susanto. Now it's time to go to the Senior Australian of the Year award category. The Department of Health and Aged Care is the category partner for this award, and it celebrates those Australians 65 years and over who continue to make a difference and in many cases are just hitting your strides, right? So many. So let's hear more about the Senior Australian of the Year category.
The Senior Australian of the Year award is an award that really carries a lot of respect because it's a reflection of many decades of work by the recipient.
Reading is probably the most powerful thing that you can give to a child, reading and stories.
I pray that all people in our wonderful country, Australia, regardless of language, culture, skin colour or religious belief, may stand tall as proud Australians.
The Senior Australian of the Year award recognises and celebrates the incredible achievements of older Australians around the country. As the Minister for Aged Care, I want to congratulate all of you on being nominated. Ageing well means staying healthy and connecting with community. Improving the lives of others shows your continued passion and commitment to living well. I wish you all the best in the finals, but importantly, I want to acknowledge that every one of you should be proud of your continued achievements. You are an inspiration to all of us, and your legacies will benefit the nation for generations to come.
The Senior Australians of the Year are inspirational not only to other senior Australians, but to all Australians, and particularly to the younger generations coming through.
Bystander first aid is proven to prevent death in those vital minutes before an ambulance arrives.
Here in Australia, we are fortunate to be the home of the oldest continuing surviving cultures in the world. This is something we should be proud of and we should celebrate.
Our nominees for the 2024 Northern Territory Senior Australian of the Year award are
Leonie Bowie grew up in the Philippines and came to Alice Springs in 1984. She's been supporting newcomers to the outback town ever since. Volunteering at the Migrant Resource Centre, Leonie provides practical assistance and social connection for people far from their homelands and family. In 2023, she was named Centralian Citizen of the Year, honouring her years of caring. Elizabeth Hart has been an amazing support for community fundraising in Katherine. Her annual New Haven Biggest Morning Tea for Cancer Council NT is a high point in the town's calendar. Over 13 years of morning teas, she's raised a total of $103,000. Elizabeth does whatever she can to help and is active in rural aid, the local Salvation Army and the National Trust. Working between cultures is challenging, but Associate Professor Elaine Lewerpa-Mapalama has shown a rare ability to navigate this space to the benefit of her Yolngu community. For 3 decades, the researcher and educator has been nurturing Yolngu cultural practices and language for future generations, and has guided many non-Indigenous academics to engage with Yolngu for a positive exchange of knowledge. Gentle, generous and funny, Yalmay Yunupingu has touched many lives in northeast Arnhem Land. As a teacher and linguist, the Yolngu woman guided bilingual teaching at Yirrkala Bilingual School for 4 decades, helping youngsters stay strong with their language and culture. She retired in March 2023. A respected elder, Yalmay remains in constant demand for consultations, projects and traditional healing work.
May I invite the Chief Minister of the Northern Territory, Natasha Files, to help me with this award. And we'll start with the certificates once again.
I'm excited.
Me too. Leonie Bowie. Elizabeth Hart. Associate Professor Elaine Lewerpa-Mapalama. And Yalmay Yunupingu. So many stories in those finalists for this category. Thank you. Just spend some time, if there's after the awards ceremony, just a time to catch up and have a chat, because decades of experience and knowledge are in this category. And the 2024 Northern Territory Senior Australian of the Year is
Yalmay Yunupingu.
You can tell Yalmay is a teacher and linguist, because she was helping me with a lot of the pronunciations earlier tonight as well, and doing a beautiful job of that. Congratulations. You spent all these decades teaching. What do you love about teaching?
Straight from the school, I wanted to be a teacher librarian. That was my ambition. That was my ambition, that I wanted to be a teacher librarian. But working there at the school, someone told me that I've got to do my teacher training first to become a teacher librarian. So I did. So in 1976, we had a teacher education, but it was a community-based, which was then called on-site, and a bit like rate. And then from there, I did my teacher education until I think it was in 1999, and then I was a Band 1 teacher. At that time, they called a Band 1 teacher. I had a class of my own. And it's a very long journey that I took. Very long journey. It's very, it was not a successful journey that I took. I went through lots of obstacles, but I did do it, things I wanted to do for the community, but for the school. I teach in a bilingual school, and coming back from home, looking after my husband, we came back in 2013, and I was given a position as a teacher librarian. No, sorry, as a LPC worker. But in 2014, then I got my given a title, LPC linguist, teacher linguist, and then on I worked for 10 years in that position. I mainly looked after the area for Yolngu-Matha, because in the morning we have a Yolngu-Matha class, and in the afternoon we have other subjects that are being taught in the classroom.
And is it true, Yalmay, that you took Dr. Zeus books and you translated them? Can you please tell me you can remember a line from Dr. Zeus that you can say in Yolngu-Matha?
There was lots of Dr. Seuss books in different titles. That was my first practice translating that into Yolngu-Matha. Didn't think that I was going to be a teacher linguist in the future. Not in the future, in the past. Future, past?
In the past, you didn't think in the future.
Yeah.
But you were more than that, aren't you? Because you were awarded Teacher of Excellence by the Northern Territory Department of Education. So it's been a long, long career. Do you miss it?
2 times Teacher Excellence of the Year. 2 times.
Twice.
Yeah.
Do you miss it?
Pardon?
Do you miss it?
I really miss the school, and I really miss the being a mentor and support that I'd offered, or especially mentored the Yolngu teachers, which we call them team teachers, because in the other class, in the other schools, they call them teaching assistants. So I was a great supporter of Yolngu-Matha, teaching Yolngu-Matha teachers and how to deliver Yolngu-Matha lessons in the classroom. So every once a week we plan together for that, for the next lesson.
And what a great contribution you've made, not only to your classroom, but to the Northern Territory and onwards to represent us in Canberra. Yalmay, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Definitely want to hear some Dr. Zeus in Yolngu-Matha a little later, Yolngu-Matha. And that brings us to, my maths, Peter, how's my maths going? Possibly to the last award category that we have, and this is the Australian of the Year award. It is the big one. as they say. But everybody here tonight is going on to have their own platforms and share the messages of what it is that have brought them here tonight. The Australian of the Year Award in particular celebrates the achievements and contributions of eminent Australians who are role models for us all. And as you know, they've come from some rather dynamic past recipients that we've had before. And it's so great to have so many people from different sectors and backgrounds. It's a real privilege to see what you do when you get to Canberra and how you use that platform for the year that it is yours as Australian of the Year, and celebrate your causes and passions and achievements. So let's just remind ourselves a little bit of past Australians of the Year.
I think we can all really aspire to be like the Australians of the Year. The Australians of the Year really help to shape our nation as we move into the future, which is why we should be so grateful for their ongoing work.
We have to have greater representation of people with a disability absolutely everywhere. In our boardrooms, in our parliaments, in our mainstream schools, on our dating apps, on our sporting fields, in our universities, absolutely everywhere.
If I can make a difference to someone else's life, if they can draw some strength by hearing what I say and knowing that I'm speaking on their behalf, it'll give me a lot of hope.
I'm going to continue to be myself, keep standing up for what I believe in, and hopefully by doing this, other people will follow.
When you look back at the amazing list of Australians of the Year over the last 60 plus years, it's an extraordinary group of people. Musicians, athletes, scientists, Aboriginal leaders, advocates, environmentalists, rescuers. It's an amazing list of incredible Australians.
There's a temptation to take the easy route, to think that life will be better if we mould it to make it as comfortable as possible.
Time is short, get amongst it and take your kids with you.
What if instead of spending their precious time and energy at war with their bodies, our young people were free to become the leaders, big thinkers and game changers the world needs more of right now? It's not our bodies that need to change, it's our perspective.
So for the last time this evening, our nominees for this year's Northern Territory Australian of the Year are
Ants are considered key bioindicators of ecological change. That's why the expertise of Professor Alan Anderson, a world-leading ant community ecologist, has been instrumental to understanding the environment and improving land management practices in the Northern Territory. Alan is also an engaging speaker with the gift of explaining science and an active leader in the Australian scientific community. Sammy Butcher played guitar for the groundbreaking Warumpi Band for nearly 30 years. But he spent even longer teaching music to the young and at-risk people of his Papunya community. He encourages them to play, record and tour their music to find their voices and connect with their culture, quietly fostering hope, pride and confidence in generations of younger people. Benjamin Gratz is a trailblazer in the performing arts, as well as the First Nations and LGBTIQ+ communities. His work over the last 25 years has amplified often unheard voices. Whether it's as drag performer Miscellaneous or through his role as creative director of Sydney World Pride, Benjamin has forged pathways for future First Nations queer stories and talent. Blair McFarland has had many different job titles, but his roles all have one thing in common: fighting to improve the health and lives of Indigenous Central Australians. Perhaps Blair's most significant contribution is setting up Central Australian Youth Link-Up Service, or CALIS, which was instrumental in reducing volatile substance misuse in the region by 95%.
And Chief Minister, will you do the honours of presenting the certificates for the Australians of the Year finalists? And we begin with Professor Alan Anderson, who looks remarkable for his age. This is in fact his son Finn. I could talk a lot about all of these finalists. I'll try not to, but I've interviewed all of them. And Professor Anderson, I said to him, what's your favourite ant? And he said, oh, well, there's one that sits in this little reed on the high tide. And the tides are so high that the water will go into the reed and drown the whole colony, except for the fact that they have a little cork head. And there's one ant who goes and sticks its cork head up the reed to stop the water from coming in. And isn't that remarkable? Imagine being that one ant whose turn it is to stick your head up the reed. Sammy Butcher. Again, Sammy Butcher has a new play that was picked up, a musical play that's been picked up before it was even finished. They just heard about it in Adelaide, Sydney, Melbourne. It's called Big Band, No Blanket. And he said, because we're this huge band, right? We were famous, but we didn't have any blankets. Big Band, No Blanket, picked up before it was even finished. Congratulations. Benjamin Gratz. One of the few Territorians to have the confidence to wear shorts to an award ceremony like this, where he is a finalist for the Australian of the Year. And was also instrumental in bringing world pride to Australia, competing on the world stage, because it could billions of dollars in revenue, everyone wanted it. And Ben was one of those who brought it to Australia. Congratulations. And Blair McFarland. I heard the interview on air this morning with Adam Steer. I was riveted by the changes that you were instrumental in making to bring petrol sniffing down by 95%. Almost overnight, you said. What an achievement. Please give them all a massive round of applause. And this is our final award. So, Chief Minister, who is our Northern Territory Australian of the Year 2024?
A big congratulations to Blair McFarland.
I just heard him say I'm speechless. I hope not. You're actually speechless? You didn't prepare anything?
Yeah, I made a few witty things up, but I'm just overwhelmed. Thanks.
I have just a few questions for you. So again, I was listening this morning, riveting conversation, and about that stark detail that with a simple change of fuel, you and your team were able to reduce petrol sniffing by 95%, which is huge. But we obviously still have a lot of work to do, particularly in the youth sector in the Northern Territory, and I would love to know in 2 minutes or less, what do you see as being a solution? Is there one? In 2 minutes or less.
Yeah, there is. So, like part of our approach, like it was great to roll out an unsniffable fuel. It was like stopping a hemorrhage. It wasn't a Band-Aid solution, it was more like a tourniquet solution, because kids were dying. Like in my region, 7 a year were dying, and so many were getting brain damage. And Access Economics costed it cost to the community at $79 million in 2005. So it was a huge problem, and the solution that we came up with is addressed the symptom very well, like there was a huge reduction in petrol sniffing. But we can't lose sight of the causes of petrol sniffing, and that's what we've been putting our energy into ever since. And we're trying to make life better for kids in remote communities so that they're not pushed towards petrol sniffing. So yeah, there's a lot more work to do, and it's about making life better for kids.
Would you like to say one of your pre-prepared witty remarks?
Oh yeah. So I'm not just a one-trick horse, like one-trick pony. As well as addressing petrol sniffing, I was also the coach of my son's under-8 soccer team.
Maybe you'll get an award for that next year.
I think so.
Congratulations. Honestly, I wish I could be there with all of you when you go to Canberra next year, because you're going to blow them away. What happens next? Well, they are now on the national stage. Whatever you've got in your diary for the next 12 months, cancel it, because this is your new life. And you're going to be going to Canberra on January 25th, on Australia Day Eve, with all the other nominees from the other states and the ACT. And you'll get, it's so great. I've been behind the scenes to one of these before. You get to meet so many people, you'll get to network, you'll get to meet other people and take your causes further and speak to people like the Prime Minister, for example. You'll have, I think you're actually given an allotted time where you'll get to say what it is that's passionate for you to the Prime Minister. I would like to welcome someone who is lucky enough to work in Canberra all the time. That's not you, Lou Gosling. The Honourable, and I don't know that you feel very lucky either, do you? The Honourable Patrick Gorman, MP, Assistant Minister to the Prime Minister and Assistant Minister for the Public Service.
Thank you, Joe. I think Joe might have talked up the quality of the floorboards in Canberra just a little bit too much, but I say you didn't overstate the brilliance of the Welcome to Country from the Youth Mill, and if I can also acknowledge the Larrakia people and say thank you very much for that very warm welcome. I acknowledge the Administrator of the Northern Territory, Hugh Heggie, PSM, the Chief Minister, Natasha Files. Myself and the Prime Minister really appreciate the really strong working relationship we have with your government, and thank you for all your leadership. If I can acknowledge my parliamentary colleague, Luke Gosling. I am very grateful that Luke chooses to come to Canberra. He is a fantastic advocate for the Territory, but he's also someone who's a really great friend of these awards. And I think the nominees and recipients tonight know that. He is someone who really advocates for celebrating the absolute best of the Territory in Canberra and across Australia. And I see that as well with the Facing North event that the Chief Minister, Luke and others bring together each year. And if I can thank as well, Liana, thank you very much for helping everyone enjoy the great speeches and also my speech. The Australian of the Year Awards do tell the story of our nation. They are outstanding stories of individuals, but in celebrating these individuals, we seek to bring people together. We've had 71 Australians of the Year, and each year we look for the next. And right now, I reckon Australia really needs these awards. We need the positivity that they show. We need an excuse to celebrate, and we need an excuse to bring people together. Because we recognise that this country is so much stronger together, and there is actually just something incredibly joyful about celebrating the stories that we've celebrated tonight. And if I can just for a moment, one of the things that I think the job of politicians, as the Chief Minister did in acknowledging the 2023 recipients, the job of us is actually to amplify your messages. Widiana Marika told us about the power of recognising your heroes, recognising your father's heroes, and the strength that history gives us all, the strength that history gives us to build that brighter future. Yalmay Yunupingu, who's been a teacher and educator, my mum was a teacher for many decades, and so you're really speaking to my heart. When you talked both about lots of obstacles, but then said, I did the things I want to do for my community. Really powerful determination to give kids a brighter future. Peter Sestanto kind of made us realise all that whatever our to-do list, his to-do list is more ambitious. I think it was finish uni, keep making a difference, eat his grandmother's delicious food, start a free mobile remote clinic, and maybe become Young Australian of the Year on the way through. That's pretty impressive to me. And Blair McFarland, who just summed it up so beautifully as to if you're choosing or unsure about what to do with your life, his quote, so simple, make life better for kids. And I can't think of a better person for you to be sending to join us in Canberra, where we will see the floorboards. You could judge the carpets at the lodge too if you like. But it's an opportunity for some outstanding Territorians to join us, to continue advocating for the things you're passionate about, and for us to celebrate each of you on the national stage. We'll see you in Canberra in a few weeks' time. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honourable Patrick Gorman. I'm not overestimating it. It's coming from Darwin when you first walk in. Like, what? Anyway, thank you very much for being here today. To our 16 finalists, you are so special. Well done. Even if you aren't walking out with the special trophy, you've just done so well to be here, and I'm sure that you'll continue to do us so proud. To everybody watching and listening tonight, please make sure you get involved and nominate someone who inspires you, because as you hear tonight, everyone was like, oh, surely you don't mean me. It's someone who has taken the time to nominate them that brought them here, and now they're on to the Australian stage to be able to push their cause that they're so passionate about and that we all benefit from. So to do that, please go to australianoftheyear.org.au and follow the nominate button. And finally, we would like to acknowledge all the partners who make this special awards possible. And we've already heard from our category partners, the Department of Health and Aged Care, Home Affairs and the Australian Government Office for Youth. We thank our broadcast partner, the ABC, and I'll see you on it from 5:30 tomorrow morning on ABC Radio Darwin, and our media partner, the Australian Community Media, reaching rural, regional and remote audiences around the country. Thank you to our accommodation partner, Crown Plaza Canberra. A great place. I lived in Canberra for a little while, that's why I know so much about it. And to our cultural partner, the Australian National University, who produce the amazing trophies. Thanks to our exhibition partner, the National Museum of Australia, and our legal partner, Minter Ellison. Please thank me, join me in please thank me, no, sorry. Please join me in thanking our partners in their vital support. Congratulations once again for everybody who is involved, and this brings us to the end of the formal proceedings. Don't forget to tune in to the national announcement live on the ABC the evening before Australia Day, and just like tonight, it really is a truly beautiful experience. Now we had this talk already, so I'm going to say it really clearly, don't leave. You have to stay for photographs, and I know what you're thinking, you'll just slip out, but if you do that, we'll never see you again. So please stay. Everybody else, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here tonight to celebrate these very special awards, and have a great evening.